There used to be a spirit in my house that I was extremely terrified of until I did this. At my old house, there was this dark, heavy energy that would hover over my back, and it absolutely terrified me. I was so afraid that I ran out of the house every time I felt it. Things got to the point where I was so afraid that I couldn't even stay in my house. I ended up staying with family for a couple of weeks and only coming to my house during the day to do things here and there. I would go to my house for as long as I could until I felt that creepy energy, and then I would leave again. Nothing crazy was happening. It was just the most horrifying feeling I've ever felt. One day I was at my house and I just had enough, and I decided that I was going to face this thing. I was walking into my kitchen, and then all of a sudden I felt it hovering over my back again. And I was so terrified. I was pumping myself up, trying to make myself turn around, going, "You got this, you got to do this, you got to face this thing." And I mustered up every bit of courage that I had, and I turned around and I said, "Get back!" And it did. It went all the way to the back corner of my house and got so tiny and small. I could sense that it was shaking and trembling, and I felt it emanating this fear. For some reason, it was really afraid of me. And that's when it dawned on me that the fear that I was feeling was not my fear, it was the spirit's fear. Now, this experience happened in the beginning of my spiritual journey, and this was only the second spirit interaction that I ever had. I was in my mid-30s, and prior to that, as many of you know, I wasn't communicating with spirits. That didn't happen until I had my awakening, which was like days before this event. So what I'm getting at is I really didn't understand how to handle this experience. I didn't know what to do with the spirit, so I did the only thing that came to me at that time, and I told the spirit to leave. "You need to get out, and you're not welcome here." And it did. I felt it leave, and I actually lived in that house for another year and a half before I moved out, and it had never come back. And after I had that experience, I became obsessed about finding out why that spirit was there in the first place and what I could do to prevent anything like that happening again. What I eventually found out is that my fear of the spirit world was actually drawing in fearful spirits because it felt like home to them. So anyone out there who's letting a fear of the spirit world prevent them from connecting with their loved ones who have passed away, you have to face that fear. You have to feel the fear and do it anyway. You're never going to be in a position where the fear is completely gone, and then you begin.